Hi everyone, hope all is well. My name is Allie, for those of you who don't know. I'm sorry I haven't been on in a while, but wanted to continue with my reading of the Chris Watts Discovery. Hope you'll follow along. Again, if this puts you to sleep, I take that as a compliment, and I'm looking forward to continuing reading along with you. So we are beginning on supplemental report 21, Officer Perez, on page 109. On 8/17/2018 at approximately 20:41 hours, I was requested by Detective Baumhover to transport items of evidence to the Longmont Police Department. Detective Baumhover handed me 4 paper brown bags that were all sealed with red tape. Marked on the bags were the following: bag number 1, underwear number 1. Bag number 2, shirt number 2. Bag number 3, bra number 3. Bag number 4, sheet number 7. All 4 bags contained Shanann Watts' name on a printed label. I arrived at the Longmont Police Department at approximately 21:02 hours. I was escorted to the Longmont Police Evidence Room by Officer Jocelyn Placencia. I cut the red tape that was sealing the sheet number 7 bag with my knife. Inside that bag was a white sheet with dirt all over and red stained. Wrapped inside the sheet was a small pile of dirt. The dirt was placed in a separate brown paper bag and marked dirt from sheet number 7. The sheet was placed inside a dry room locker, draping over a rod that was inside the locker. The sheet was tagged as number 7 with the case number and locked inside the locker along with the bag of dirt. I then cut the red tape that was sealing the bra number 3 bag with my knife. Inside that bag was a black bra that was covered in dirt. The bra was placed inside a different drying locker on a shelf. The bra was tagged as number 3 along with the case number. I cut the red tape that was sealing the shirt number 2 bag with my knife. Inside that bag was a shirt, white on top and purple on the bottom, with what appeared to have a heart logo in the middle of the shirt. The shirt was also covered in dirt. The shirt was placed inside the same drying locker as the bra on a hanger. The shirt was tagged as number 2 along with the case number. I cut the red tape that was sealing the underwear number 1 bag with my knife. Inside that bag was a blue pair of thong-style underwear that was mostly see-through. The underwear was also covered in dirt. The underwear was placed inside the same drying locker, I think they meant to say, as the shirt and bra on a shelf. The underwear was tagged as number 1 along with the case number. The drying locker contained the bra, shirt, and underwear was locked. The keys to both drying lockers were put inside a cabinet hole that only evidence personnel would have access to. Officer Placencia assisted me through the whole process of placing the items into the drying lockers. Officer Placencia completed a property and evidence report sheet containing Longmont's case number 18-7619. A copy of the property and evidence report sheet will be added to the case file. Photographs were taken of the items inside the drying lockers and will be submitted into evidence. Video and audio was recorded from the time I arrived at the Longmont Police Department till I finished placing the items of evidence inside the drying lockers. Video will be added to the case file. Nothing further. Officer Perez, number 987, Frederick Police Department. Supplemental Report 22, Baumhover. More about the victims and the suspects. This supplemental report was generated for the purpose of booking and evidence collected from the Survey 319 oil tank site crime scene. Nothing further. Evidence transfer form from Detective Baumhover. We've got a black plastic bag. Location of item collected, marker 1. Black plastic bag, marker 2. Gray and white sheet, marker 3. Rake head, marker 4. Rake handle, marker 5. Suspected hair from the east tank. Location, east tank. This must be evidence that was located at the Survey 319 oil site. Signed by Detective Baumhover on 8/16/18. They also have a partial rake handle here, which is of note, which is marker 7. Okay, supplemental report 23, Officer Albert. On August 14th, 2018, at approximately 2100 hours, I was instructed by Detective Baumhover to take a cell phone belonging to Christopher Watts and respond to the Dacono Police Department. The purpose was for Dacono officers to conduct a search of the data from that phone. I arrived on scene at their office and met with Officer Boyer of Dacono PD. Officer Boyer received the phone and downloaded the data. Shortly later, she made a copy of the data on a USB drive and provided that to me. I then returned to the Frederick Police Department and provided the USB and the phone back to Detective Baumhover. Reference Dacono case number 18-04926. Nothing further at this time. Sergeant Albert 976, Frederick Police Department. Supplemental Report 24, Officer Ian Albert. On August 18th, 2018, at approximately 1100 hours, I contacted Christopher Rusk via phone number, redacted. I received a tip that Rusk had personally known both Shanann and Christopher Watts and may have information regarding the case. I spoke with Rusk, who identified himself as the service manager for the Longmont Ford dealership, located at 235 Alpine Street, Longmont. Rusk informed me that Chris Watts had previously worked at the dealership and Rusk was friends with him. After Rusk had heard that Shanann and the children went missing, he reached out to C. Watts via phone. Rusk stated that the only thing C. Watts said to him was that I shouldn't have talked to the media. Nothing further at this time. Sergeant Albert 976, Frederick Police Department. Supplemental Report 25, Officer Ian Albert. On August 18th, 2018, at approximately 1530 hours, I was advised by Detective Baumhover to respond to the McGee Medical Center in Loveland to retrieve an item of evidence regarding this case. I later arrived on scene and was handed a silver canister with the word Celeste written on it. I then returned to the Frederick Police Department and handed it to Detective Baumhover. Nothing further at this time. Sergeant Albert 976, Frederick Police Department. Supplemental Report 26, Officer Ken Dahl, which is kind of funny. On August 15th, 2018, at 1600 hours, Officer Dahl was asked to pass out flyers on the missing people. While passing out the flyers, Officer Dahl contacted 4 people that said they knew Shanann. Officer Dahl took the contact information from the 4 people and gave it to Officer Manley. Video was taken. No further information. Officer Kenneth Dahl, 979, Frederick Police Department. Supplemental Report 27, Officer Bakes. On Wednesday, August 15th, 2018, I arrived at work at approximately 1600 hours. There were several different agency personnel at the police department at that time. I was briefed by Commander Egan of the situation and was assigned as the patrol sergeant and also to coordinate patrol personnel where and when they were needed. At approximately 1830 hours, I was asked by Commander Egan to drive Chris Watts' Lexus vehicle to the back of the police department from the front on 5th Street and coordinate with Watts' father to retrieve his bag from the vehicle and then get him a ride to a hotel. Commander Egan also advised me that I would need to seize the vehicle and have it towed by Brad's Towing. At approximately 2030 hours, I had Officer James transport Watts' father to a hotel in Del Camino after he retrieved his gym bag from the back storage area of Watts' Lexus. I then had Officer Goodman secure the vehicle with evidence tape and have it towed to Brad's Towing, where it was placed in a secure storage building. I was advised by Commander Egan that I would need to coordinate with Detective Baumhover, who was in the process of obtaining a search warrant for the Watts residence. Commander Egan advised that I would supervise the scene while the search warrant was executed at the residence. Once the search warrant was signed by a judge and ready to execute, I responded to the residence at approximately 2212 hours and assisted the field's evidence tech Steve Walgie at the residence. I assisted Officer Walgie with collecting all the bedding including pillows in both the upstairs kids' rooms and in the master bedroom. I also contained the family dog in a kennel, which was running loose inside the house. I turned over custody of the dog to a family friend, Amanda Thayer, who arrived on scene to pick up the dog. At the request of Officer Walgie, I video recorded the screen on a baby monitor while Officer Walgie strangled a doll on each of the kids' beds in their rooms. The baby monitor was located in a right nightstand in the master bedroom. The baby monitor cameras were fixed on the wall in each of the kids' bedrooms that focused on the beds. I also looked through a backpack which was located on the living room floor, which was determined to be Chris Watts's work bag. Inside the bag, I located a laptop computer, which was seized as evidence. During the search of the residence, Brad's Towing arrived on scene to tow Chris Watts's work truck from the scene. I assigned Officer Manley with this task, and the vehicle was towed to Brad's Towing, where it was placed in a secure building. Once the search of the residence was completed, myself and Officer Walgie secured the residence and left the scene. We transported the evidence we collected to the Frederick Police Department, where it was secured in a locked room until Officer Walgie could finish processing it. On Friday, August 17, 2018, I was requested by Deputy District Attorney Patrick Roach to send him the video I took on my work phone of the baby monitor screen. I was able to successfully send him the video. Nothing further. Sergeant Bakes, number 975, Frederick Police Department. Supplemental Report 28, Meredith Simmons. On August 14, 2018, at approximately 09:45 hours, I, CSO Simmons, was asked to drive an unmarked police car to the area of 2825 Saratoga Trail, Frederick, Colorado, and observe the above residence for suspicious activity. I arrived on scene at approximately 1000 hours and parked a few houses away in the 6300 block of Steeple Rock Drive. I kept notes of license plates passing in the area in the event they would be relevant on a notepad. The piece of paper has been entered into the case file. My notes are as follows. 10 a.m., 718NGQ, white van leaving residence, texted to Detective Baumhofer. 909 ZYH, 1021 ANI 736, male and female go into residence. 1045, husband move truck to east out of sight. 303 ZLO, 135 UNL, white four-door car, brunette with little girl, news interview. 1145 FEPD, Boulder on scene. ANIN 911, looped and I left. 821 WFP, 1208 K9, YFQ088 Black Explorer. At approximately 12:20 hours, CSO Scarlett relieved me of my duties, and after a short bathroom break, I joined Sergeant Albert in canvassing the neighborhood, handing out flyers along Steeple Rock Drive and Ruby Hill Drive. I documented which houses did not have an answer, and a flyer was only posted on the door. I later provided this list to Officer Manley. On August 15, 2018, at approximately 1600 hours, I was asked by Officer Manley to assist with updated flyer handouts at Aggregate Boulevard and Windham Hill Parkway, Frederick, Colorado. I was stationed to the west of the above intersection and handed out flyers to all incoming traffic, asking for updates and asking residents to check their security cameras for footage. At approximately 1800 hours, I was told by Officer Fairbanks, who had also been handing out flyers at the same location and who had just received a phone call, that we were to pack up and leave the area, which we did immediately. Nothing further at this time. Here's Meredith Simmons' notes. So Ruby Hill Drive, 6305, 6325, 6333, 6330 has a Ring doorbell camera. Walnut Grove Way, 6316 has a Ring doorbell. 6308, 6304 has a Ring doorbell. 6244 and 3015 Walnut Grove Street are the addresses that they were not home and a flyer was posted. Some more handwritten notes. Okay, Supplemental Report 29, Officer Bakes. On August 20th, 2018, at approximately 1700 hours, I was asked by Detective Baumhover if I saw a shovel in the back of Chris Watts' work truck. I advised him that I did, and that I would complete a supplemental report with the information. On Monday evening, myself, Officer James, and Officer Coonrod were at the Watts residence speaking with Chris Watts about where his family may be. Officer James was speaking with Chris on the front driveway of the residence when I walked over to Chris's work truck, which was parked directly in front of the driveway to his residence facing east. I began looking into the bed of the truck over the tailgate and observed several silver toolboxes, some sort of pump with a large hose, and a few other miscellaneous tools. I walked to the passenger side of the truck while still looking into the bed of the truck and observed a shovel. The shovel was a spade shovel with a red handle and had a black rubber grip on the end of the handle. I noticed there was fresh dirt on the spade of the shovel. I noticed the shovel was facing down, with the bowl of the spade facing towards the tailgate into the bed on the driver's side and angled upwards to the passenger side, with the end of the handle being close to level with the top of the bed of the truck. The shovel was stored in between the cab of the truck and a silver toolbox or gas tank in the bed of the truck. When the vehicle was towed from the residence on Wednesday night, I was inside the residence and not present outside while it was being towed. I had heard from someone that I cannot recall who was that the shovel may no longer have been in the bed of the truck. While executing the search warrant at the residence, I looked in the garage, basement, and outside of the residence in an attempt to locate any shovels, but did not locate any. Nothing further. Sergeant Bakes, number 975, Frederick Police Department. Supplemental Report 30, Officer Coonrod. On August 20th, 2018, this officer responded to the Longmont Police Department to retrieve evidence that was drying. Upon arrival, I spoke with evidence technician Cavins. Cavins stated that she, technician Knocktree, and Sergeant Cage are the only people that have access to the locked dry safe, forensic evidence drying cabinet. I was advised no one had been in the cabinet since the items were placed inside. The cabinet was locked upon my arrival. I gathered evidence number 60, underwear, number 61, shirt, number 62, bra, and number 66, sheet. The items were placed back into the original bags, sealed with evidence tape. I also collected number 79 in the bottom cabinet floor liner, which was under the sheet in the evidence drying cabinet, number 80 in the dirt that had fell off the sheet, and number 81, the bottom floor liner, which was under the clothing items that were dried. The forensic evidence drying cabinet was divided into two sections. The sheet was in the door to the left, and the other clothing items were in the door to the right. The items were placed in plastic evidence bags and stapled shut to allow them to breathe. I placed evidence tape, too, over seals. I signed a property and evidence report sheet that Longmont Police had completed. A copy was provided and placed in this file. The evidence was later booked into locker number 12. Nothing further. Officer Coonrod, 0901, Frederick PD. Supplemental Report 31, Officer Goodman. This supplemental report is to account for handwritten notes I had taken during my telephone contacts with Christopher Watts and Sandra Ruzick. During my phone contact with Christopher, I noticed the phone he had called from had been from a different number we had for him, so I wrote down that number on a Post-it note to document the number in my report. I had also took some notes on Bella and Celeste's height, weight, scars or marks, as well as the scar he described on Shanann's forehead, to be able to advise Weld County Dispatch records of this information for the missing persons report. As soon as I transferred my notes to dispatch and my report, I shredded them. I had taken some notes from Sandra as well, and again, as soon as they were transferred to my report, I shredded them too. Since the conclusion of this investigation, Commander Egan has advised all notes need to be preserved for the case. I had already destroyed all of my notes and am documenting here the reason for my notes not being available. End of report. Just kind of wonder what might have been on his notes that he didn't necessarily add to this report, because it's been shown a few times that you can find new things that nobody has known before who think that they know a lot about this case in the handwritten notes versus in all the typed up notes. Anyways, moving on. Supplemental report number 32, Officer Dahl. On August 16, 2018, Officer Dahl was informed that all written notes needed to be kept for the case. On August 14, 2018, at 11:18 hours, Officer Dahl took notes on the name, date of birth, and phone number for Nathan. When Officer Dahl completed his supplemental report on the 14th, he destroyed the note. The time that the note was taken is recorded on video. Officer Kenneth Dahl, 979 Frederick Police Department. Same with him. You don't know what notes could have been on his handwritten notes. Supplemental report 33, Officer Walgie. At approximately 1,000 hours on August 21st, 2018, I reported to 245 Oak Street, Frederick, to execute 2 vehicle search warrants. The processing of the vehicles was completed by CBI agents David Yoakum, crime scene analyst Kaylee Henson, forensic scientists. Prior to the beginning of the processing, I verified the vehicle license plates and VINs, matching them to respective copies of the search warrants. In attendance from our agency was Detective Baumhover, CSO Lindsay Simmons, and myself. All evidence items were transferred directly from the above-mentioned CBI agents to myself and immediately logged into Property. All evidence items were directly transferred from CBI agents to myself and assigned an item number, which was written on each evidence bag. L. Simmons was in the course of being trained as a field evidence technician and assisted by writing on some evidence item bags while I assigned numbers prior to transport. Besides observing, my primary task was transferring evidence from CBI possession to our agency and into our evidence room. I signed a transfer of evidence form to that effect. At the time of process, the evidence items collected from the 2 vehicles were assigned as items number 82 through 97. The suspect's work truck was processed first, then the Lexus. I placed copies of the vehicle search warrants along with the inventory list on the front seats of each vehicle. I requested final photographs to be taken to include said mentioned documents. See Agent Henson report. Start of processing began at 10:20 hours and ended at 13:39 hours. Upon completing the searches, I resealed the vehicles with evidence tape to all locations that the previous tape was located prior to searches and wrote my initials and the date on each one. I immediately transported all evidence items to the Frederick Police Department and entered all items into evidence room for storage. End of report. Officer Walgie, 978 Frederick Police Department. Here's Officer Walgie's handwritten notes. Viv and video, Dave at house. Tuesday, Vel search, shovel. Clear out. I don't know. Said dirt, work boots, stuffed animals, blankets, black trash bags, Nikki, May, Primrose Daycare, McCoy. Sunday 5:07 text to Cody Roberts. Something tripped 319 site. SW 978. Not Saturday late afternoon, Sunday 1 o'clock. (2825) Shanann Watts, Chris, SV 57730. Forge, Albert. Nicole, Send, 970. Redacted. 2825 Saratoga Trail, called. Security, neighbors video, work laptop, lazy dog, Kovac, his wallet, book Hold Me Tight, hardback, Verizon, Xfinity. Supplemental report number 34, Officer Walgie. On August 15th, 2018, after a lengthy consensual search earlier in the day, I arrived again at 2825 Saratoga Trail to conduct a search warrant based on the new information that had arisen in the investigation. At 22:12 hours, I, along with Officer Manley and Sergeant Bakes, began the execution of the search warrant. Officer Kate Lines kept a crime scene log outside the residence. I took a photograph of Sergeant Bakes holding the signed search warrant outside in front of the residence prior to entry. We entered the front door using the key code I was provided earlier in the day. At 23:12 hours, Weld County ADA Wren and ADA Roach arrived on scene to observe. Various evidentiary items were collected, including bedding and related items. A video baby monitor with 2 accompanying cameras were collected. While on scene, Sergeant Bakes took video, handheld, using his Axon body camera, of a reenactment scenario requested earlier by the investigatory team that I participated in. The perspective of the video taken was a close-up of the baby monitor video screen located in the master bedroom. Clothes were collected. A laptop was collected. Photographs were taken. All items were immediately transported back to the police department and entered into evidence. On August 16, 2018, at 00:11 hours, the front door of the residence was locked. At that time, I released the scene and Weld County Dispatch was informed. End of report. Officer Walgie, 978, Frederick Police Department. Written notes from Officer Walgie. Endangered person search warrants. PORs. Has work phone. Has personal phone. May 25th through August 15th. Documents obtained so far in the investigation provide an estimated beginning of an intimate relationship, evidenced by written communications, Christopher Watts and Nicole Kessinger, on or about June 8th, 2018. As a result, your applicant is seeking a production of records with a reasonable time span of approximately 2 weeks prior to the said date, or May 25th, 2018, until the verified date of recovery of bodies on August 15th, 2018. Once phone data comes in, check August 13th. Pause a couple blocks away for 4 minutes at 14:01 hours at 6507 Black Mesa Road prior to meeting Coonrod. Okay, so they were on to him about stopping off at the dumpsters. All right, supplemental report number 35, Officer Albert. 1 second, I just need to take a drink. Ooh. Okay. Supplemental report 35, Officer Albert. On August 19, 2018, at approximately 1100 hours, the Frederick Police Department received 4 emails from familyheating@aol.com. The emails were sent to the department's email address, frederickco.frederickco.gov. I reviewed the narrative of the first email, and it reads exactly as follows. I don't know her W helpful, but my ex-caregiver husband works for a company she calls ASCO. I can only assume it's the company Chris Watts worked for. She said she was having an on and off affair with one of the guys that recently was dismissed, and her husband was up for his job. She is very promiscuous, and that is not out of character. She said a guy named Chris she'd been talking to coming back. This was back in May. They spoke through the calculator, private message, Apple phones. The woman's name is Heidi Ferris. It sounded all too familiar. Not sharing this as this really sounded like the guy she spoke of. She said he was married, had 2 kids. She wasn't looking for anything serious, but most of these men are with her. She also talks to them on Facebook, but mostly on hidden text app. This may be the affair that is said that be something you may want to check out. Heidi Ferris lives in Falcon, Colorado, but has slept with her OWJ account, half the company, and used to work there. She also has been seen with Randy M. utility workers and tattoo artists and many others. But when I saw this and that he worked for ASCO, as they call it, I knew I needed to say something. It's worth a check. She may by now have erased any messages, but if you have his phone, I check for that app. It's a calculator, but if you put a special code in it, it becomes a text app. Good luck, and may this poor family rest in peace. Sent from my iPhone. And, ooh, that's eerie. This email is hard to read and at times does not make sense. Additionally, there was no contact info attached, i.e. name, phone number, address, etc. At 12:21 hours, the second email reads as follows. Sorry, I'm partly blind. My typing skills are horrible. Hope you got the gist. End. The following 2 emails show a snapshot of contact information by a Dan Ferris, superintendent of AZCO, and also the contact information for AZCO, a pipe and fabrication company that appears to be a subcontractor for Anadarko. I printed out hard copies of all the emails and placed them in the case file. Nothing further at this time. Sergeant Albert 976, Frederick Police Department. Supplemental Report 36, Officer Dahl. On August 27, 2018, at approximately 13:15 hours, Sergeant Bedsall asked Officer Dahl to respond to 6432 Saratoga Trail and talk with Jason Evans. Jason was provided a flash drive to download videos from August 13th between 13:15 hours and 14:10 hours. Jason downloaded the videos onto the flash drive. Jason said that the company he has the cameras through is Arlo. Jason said the timestamp on the video was the file name. Jason said Arlo uses Epoch Unix timecode. Jason said if you put the file name into an Epoch converter, that it would give you the date and time the video was taken. Jason said that the video footage that he provided is the only footage available from the cameras. Jason said on the video, with a time of 14:01 hours, you can see a gray truck heading north on Saratoga Trail. Jason said the other video activations are of wasps that flew onto the cameras. Officer Dahl will place the flash drive in evidence. The video with the truck was uploaded to evidence.com. No further information. Officer Kenneth Dahl, 979, Frederick Police Department. Supplemental Report 37, Officer Bedsall. I was on duty the day of August 13th, 2018. Throughout the course of this case unfolding, I helped in making sure the interview room video system was functioning. There was a malfunction of the camera in interview room number 1. The camera stopped operating about 10 to 15 minutes prior to Chris Watt's arrival at the PD on August 14th. The audio was still working. I recommended to the investigative team that the interview room be moved to number 2, that the camera was functioning properly. Several interviews took place over the following days in both rooms. The camera in room 1 continued to go in and out throughout the entire incident. When the camera goes out, there is still audio, but the video is black. Beginning August 20th, I worked to download the video from the interview room system to local servers. I then converted the videos to a usable format. The videos were then uploaded to evidence.com and renamed for easier identification. The videos have then been disseminated to the investigative team and the district attorney's office on an as-needed basis. Supplemental Report number 38, Officer Egan. In the early morning of August 14, 2018, I received an email from Sergeant Bakes advising of a missing persons call that officers on his shift had been working on. The email advised that the victim in this case and her 2 daughters had been missing and that the circumstances were suspicious. At about 0800 hours on the 14th, I arrived at the Frederick Police Department and immediately met with Detective Baumhover, who advised me that the victim was still missing and had not been accounted for. Detective Baumhover briefed me on the circumstances, and we began to formulate a plan for the investigation. Shortly after 0900 hours, I established an incident command room at the police department and began to gather and coordinate resources. I continued coordination throughout the investigation and worked with assisting agencies. The incident command room was operational until Friday afternoon on August 17th. On August 29th, I submitted 44 pages of handwritten notes, scraps of paper with notes, and other investigative documents to Evidence Supervisor Purcell. Nothing further at this time. All right, supplemental report number 38, Officer Egan. This appears to be the sheet that was used in interview room 2 on the 15th when Chris Watts confessed to burying Shanann in a shallow grave located right here in the center of my screen. Not sure if you can see my cursor. And then by disposing of Bella and Celeste, his 2 daughters, into crude oil tanks located to the left of the screen. This is drone footage, and Chris signed it on August the 15th, 2018 at 5:56 p.m. Another copy. Supplemental report number 38, Officer Egan. Date 8/14, time 15:04. Holly Coventry had a Facebook message read this morning. 0814, time 1500. Crystal Mikey lives in Windham Hill at 1:12:10 a.m. Monday morning. Heard gunshot or loud car backfire. Concerned her enough to take a picture of the clock. 0814, 1500 hours. Alan Duffy, 303 redacted. Pager 303 redacted. Has cadaver dogs that are amazing. Offering for free. 0814, time 14:45. Jamie Watts, 910, redacted, was talking to media, stated she shouldn't be talking and hung up. August the 14th, 15:15, mother of Shanann called, really wants luggage upstairs searched, has been untouched since trip. Some handwritten notes from Officer Egan. Vigil, Friday night. Size. Involvement. Vivint video system info, 40. House and neighbor. Vehicle warrants. Tuesday morning. Crescent wrench. Shovel. Can't read that part. Saws. Boots. Family interviews. Frankie. Vacancy warrants. McCoy interview. Social media freeze. CBI and WAWE, CRI. Status reports. On-camera interview. Nikki. Last interview. When did it start? Kirby. 303 redacted. 8 to 10:30. Crazy dog. Video and transcender. I don't know. Matt Saylor, 720 redacted. McCoy, Wiggins, and Greensburg. Neighborhood canvas. Manley, Herbert, Albert. Ex-husband. Dog track. Perez, lines. Investigation. Baumhover, Walgie. House. Lindsay. Paul. Roadside canvas. Tonight. Nikki Kessinger. 20 Geosciences, Jersey Circle, phone interviews, Arizona, new video, mom, financials warrant, financials from Walmart, something, oh, neighborhood canvas, sightings, video, Bob, media, press release. Bear with me, guys. Steve, Aaron, Manley, Perez, Kate, Ian, Paul, Lindsay, Patrol, Ken, 2905 Saratoga Trail. FFFPD 303 redacted, 970 redacted, Joey, Weld County Coroner. Don't know what that says. Something, saw crescent wrench. Something. This is horrible writing. 319 Survey 851, 39 minutes. 58 mold build form. I don't know. This writing is just some kind of trickery. I've come to the conclusion. People interviews, thrive. Does it show when his phone was shut off? Notes. Electronic fully and kept in evidence. Dad, delete, celebrate, report, plus do sup. Ian, notes, Dacono and Firestone. Call for all reports. Dip and ABS. Something. Don't know. Nice drawing that looks like a sports goal. Smother warrants, Vivint warrants, vehicle warrants, family interviews, Anadarko warrants, BWC records, autopsies, debrief, interview with McCoy, dump site first, PD email Friday 3:30, peer support, social media preservation, what? FBI bomb rover, lazy dog, which one? Evidence, preservation of. Bob Mowery, something videos. Something plan, debrief. I hope we're almost done with this. Formal interview, re-record, same over and over and over. Bloodhound, safest, set on house. Marital problems, what? How condition, always that way. Something tracking software, work, personal. (136 km CWB 2825 Saratoga Trail). Nicole, friend, at conference in Scottsdale for a couple of days. 1:48 a.m. drop off. Husband is Chris Watts, Shanann Watts. been married for 8 years or been together for 8 years since 2012. Alarm system. Unedited news footage, debrief, awards. Next of kin, media. Search warrant, house, baby monitor, kids' beds, site. Something. Looks like avocados. Victim advocates. Coroner, charges. Something. Invest. Vivint. Scott, 303, redacted. 12 a.m. Conoco, Home Depot, Highway 7. 2825 Saratoga Trail, Chris Watts, husband, 51685, Shanann Watts, victim, 11084, Nicole, friend, Bella 4, Celeste CC 3. Formal interview, DA's office, call, recanvas area, cell tracking software, work, or personal phone. Alarm info, log, timeline, DA's office, his phone, GPS on truck, his work info, guns, video, times, meds, Conoco, and I forget where else he said on Highway 7. Oh, Home Depot. Media release, news, Facebook, Nextdoor, VIAL, Bolo, pharmacy follow-up, hotels in the area, insurance policies, financial records, his, hers, ATM, all her social media. Frederick Police Department, phone, fax, missing persons, be on the lookout, Bolo. On August 13th, 2018, the Frederick Police Department was notified of 3 missing persons. Shanann Watts, 34 years old, and her 2 daughters that are 3 and 4 years old are missing as well. Shanann is also 15 weeks pregnant. There is no vehicle associated at this time. If you have any information regarding this case, please contact Detective Dave Baumhover at 303 blah 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 or dbaumhover@frederickco.gov or the Frederick Police Department at 720-382-5700 with any information regarding this bolo. Oh, here's a photo of him on the news. Denver 7 interview. Looking really worried about his wife and kids, not a wrinkle on his face, not a vein in his neck. 20 feet deep, unsure how full hatch. Girls had closed PJs, Shanann in blue panties only. Oh, that's horrible. Supplemental Report 39, Officer Herbert. On Tuesday, August 14th, 2018, I, Officer A. Herbert of the Frederick Police Department, reported to work on my scheduled workday. Upon arrival, I was assigned to assist with efforts to locate a missing mother and her 2 small children. I was briefed by Detective D. Baumhover, Frederick Police Department, of the 3 missing Watts family members. Detective D. Baumhover advised me that Shanann Watts, date of birth 1/10/84, Bella Watts, date of birth 12/17/13, and Celeste Watts, date of birth 7/17/15 were all missing as of Monday, August 13th, 2018. I was assigned to assist with conducting a canvass search in the West Windham Hill subdivision. I assisted by canvassing the neighborhood and surrounding houses of the Watts residence located at 2825 Saratoga Trail, located in the town of Frederick, in the county of Weld, in the state of Colorado. I contacted several residential homeowners and handed out flyers. At the time I was conducting the canvass, I was trying to see if anyone had seen where the Watts family members might be or had gone. At the time of the canvass, I did not have any information they left on foot or in a vehicle. While talking to several residences in the area, I was also able to locate several houses with a door ring camera or other types of video cameras. I logged the residences down that they were not home and that may have had video footage of the area. The few videos I was able to observe did not show Shanann, Bella, or Celeste walking on foot. While conducting my canvass in the neighborhood, I was not able to gather any information of their whereabouts. I was not able to find anyone who saw or heard anything regarding the location of the missing Watts members. My notes were turned in with my report. End of report, nothing further at this time. Officer Herbert, FE 980, Frederick Police Department. Let me just grab a quick drink. Oh, here we go. More written notes. Joy. Monday morning, 8/13/18. Shanann Watts, 34. 2 daughters, Bella, Cece, 3 and 4 years old. Pink Disney colored nightgowns. 2825 Saratoga Trail. 2805 House with Camera. Saratoga Trail. 2917, no answer, no cameras. 2913, no answer, no cameras. Lisa Burr. 2909, tires dirty. Very friendly, ring camera. Early something. Leaves at 5:30. Husband leaves at 5:30. Peter Mueller, Michael, camera was not on, does not cover that house. Steeple Rock Drive, 6323. Daniel Muniz, Christy, wife, no info, no camera. 6311 Steeple Rock Drive, no answer, no cameras, no info. 6310 Steeple Rock Drive, no answer, no cameras, no info. 6304 Steeple Rock Drive, no answer, no cameras, no info. 2821 Bet Marco, quiet, hardly have the lights on, steel gray pickup, newer, clean. 5:15 to 6:45, noon, gym, ring doorbell. 2817 Cheryl Hallowell, 3 to 4 months ago, day, ring front only. 2813 Ann Watt and Don Watt, white van, light outside. 2809 Mike Hendrickson, good family, good dad. 2805 Rick Lynn Browerman, no camera, no info. Miners Peak Circle. 6109 no answer, no cameras. 6113 Amy Runyon, no info, no camera. 6105 no answer, no cameras. 6001 no answer, no cameras. 6004 did not contact. Officer A. Herbert, FE 980. Supplemental Report 40, Officer Cochran. Or this might just be Patricia Cochran, who works at the front desk at the Frederick Police Department. Monday, August 13th, 2018, at approximately 9:00 a.m., I took a call from a person identifying herself as Nicole Atkinson requesting a well-being check of a friend. I transferred the call to Weld County Communications. Tuesday, August 14th and Wednesday, August 15th, 2018, I took calls between the hours of 8:00 a.m. and 5:00 p.m., transferring the calls to Detective Dave Baumhover, Sergeant Bob Bedsall, and Sergeant Ian Albert. Any notes regarding these calls were saved for this case and attached to this report. Nothing further. All right, Shanann and Chris. Weld County, 8/24/2018, 8:30 a.m. Family Court, summons to return. Gwendora Renchenzen, 303, redacted. Read possible sighting, 8/13/2018 at 10 o'clock a.m. Sprouts Market, 20831 and Smoky Hill Road, 7:20, redacted. Dark hair woman, 2 blonde, fair skin girls in grocery cart. Leonard King, attorney, Scotland County, North Carolina. Read life insurance, military, Fort Bragg. Supplemental report number property. This is Officer Manley. On Friday, August 24th, 2018, I was asked by Commander Egan to do an area search of the 6500 block of the Black Mesa Road, particularly at 6507 Black Mesa Road. I was advised that we had information that Chris Watts was at this address for several minutes, and I was tasked to see if there was anything pertaining to the case. I arrived on scene and spoke with the general contractor overseeing the housing development. He asked if I was there for a report of missing tools. I explained I was just there to look in the area for anything that may be related to our ongoing case. He explained that the dumpsters are emptied every Thursday, but if needed, the trash company would come on Tuesdays as well. Later in the day, it was confirmed that the dumpster was emptied on August 16th and the contents were taken to Erie landfill. According to the driver, the truck was emptied on top of the Erie landfill, but no direct locating. I walked around the property and was not able to find anything relating to the case or looked out of place. I spoke to workers in the area, but there was nothing discovered. Some trash in a construction dumpster or personal belongings would not be odd to the crews as they deal with it on a weekly basis. I looked in several dumpsters in the area and most of them were nearly empty and only had what appeared to be construction material. While in the area, I drove past 6432 Saratoga Trail. I noticed cameras on the house that pointed toward the roadway. I spoke to the homeowner, Evans Jason, and he provided a copy of the recordings of his security camera. It took Evans a while to get the video, and when it was on a USB drive, Officer Dahl was able to get the recording and turn it over to evidence. End of report. Sergeant B. Manley, Frederick Police Department. Supplemental Report 42, Officer Bedsall. On August 14th and 15th, I served as media liaison and also filtered through information coming into the department. I communicated with media personnel via email as well, sending out some media updates. My handwritten notes are names and numbers of media personnel that I returned phone calls to over the last 2 days. Nothing further. Okay, some handwritten notes. Our favorite, Colleen Slavina, AP3, also email. Joe, someone from NBC, ABC News. I don't know, something time. No idea. This is just a mess. Yep, okay. I'm not even going to try with this. Sorry. Okay, from Robert Bedsall to Amanda Purcell, who is the keeper of the evidence. Hello, this is the press release for the Shanann Watts case that is being inquired about. You can contact me with questions. We don't have any additional information we can release at this time. A majority of our department is working on this case. The same information is also available on the Town of Frederick's website. I will send out any updates that may be gathered throughout the day today at about 3 p.m. Bob Bedsall, Sergeant, Frederick Police Department. His phone number and his email. Here's another copy of the bolo. Here's some responses from some of the news outlets. Thanks so much. I appreciate you talking to me. Here you go, thanks. Oh, this is just so much wasted space. So the news outlets reaching out asking for updates, case. Another copy of the BOLO, but this has an update. This alert has been upgraded to an endangered missing alert. This is due to the length of the time that has passed without any successful contact with Shanann. There may also be some medical concerns with the missing children. More communications. More BOLOs. Wow, this is such a waste of space. Oh, another BOLO. Oh, another one. Okay, Officer Bedsall, look, you are that one who is just adding in every single piece of paper that you can think of into this file, whether it's relevant or not, just so that you can say that there was a paper trail, but like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this, Officer Bedsall. You have taken up 2 forests worth of trees at this point. I mean, that's the 45th BOLO. Oh, and then some handwritten notes. This is perfect. Nicole Utoft, we know as Nicole Atkinson. Okay, that told me nothing. USAA, 12th Chaxi, 13th Target. Oh, this is a supplemental report from Coonrod, by the way. Frank and Sandra Rusick. Ella Marie, her birthday. Celeste Catherine, her birthday. Where they go to school, Primrose. Lavelle, Texas, cloud-based. Addie Maloney is her boss. They bank through Chase and USAA. Nicholas Atkinson, who's Nicole Atkinson's son. All right, supplemental report for Officer Davies. I think we're gonna stop here and resume at this supplemental report, which is also page 234 of the discovery. Thanks so much for reading along with me, and I will be back really soon to keep recording my reading of the Chris Watts discovery. Good night.